Eman works at a vitamin shop and we stop vitamins of the week.
Literally
at the worst possible time.
We have a whole 20 episodes right here, man.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 48 of Break Time. I'm Alex.
I am Eman.
And I'm Dante.
And thank you very much for tuning in to this very outnumbered version of Break Time. Because obviously there are two types of people here that I am not. And that is intelligent people. That's all I meant by that. Anyway, guys, like always, if you want to skip around to see all the conversations that we have, skip to a specific conversation that you're interested in, you can go to the link in the description. Go to the description and I'll have timestamps of all the different conversations we have. There's also a link to our Teespring store if you want to support the podcast in that way. So, as you can see, we have Dante here. Dante, how are you?
Pretty good. Myself.
Pretty all right. This tape is coming up right here, and it's pissing
It'll be fine, man.
me off.
Yeah, just don't touch it.
Yeah, there you go. So, we have Dante on episode 48. We're fast approaching, Eman.
Man.
Episode 50. Do you know what we're doing on episode 50?
No, what are you guys doing?
So, on episode 50, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get. I guess we should start promoting it. We'll probably start promoting it after 49.
Yeah.
I think what I'm thinking.
This one, let's do it, man. We gotta get questions too.
I think 49. Let's give it the week, and if we need to extend, we can extend. Like,
okay.
we can take a week off if we need to. Just because, but episode 50, because the only reason we're having guests, because normally we'll have guests every now and then,
right.
But we're having guests every single episode right now because we're leading into episode 50.
Right.
And so for episode 50, what we're going to do as a celebration is we're going to get a bunch of questions, whether they be our thoughts on the world, whether they're personal questions, whatever. And we're going to answer them. But there's going to be tiers of questions.
Okay.
We're going to have I'm thinking 8 or 9 tiers.
Yeah.
And maybe 10 tiers, we'll see. I don't know.
10.
So we'll have 10 tiers of questions around there. And the first tier, we're going to take a shot. And then answer those questions.
You guys are going to get drunk.
Yeah. And then the next tier, we're going to take another shot and answer those questions. And as the tiers go up, the questions get harder or maybe they're more personal or whatever. Mm. So the goal is by the 10th, we're answering some deep shit questions while drunk.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
A couple questions. What are you guys going to drink?
What are we going to drink? I was thinking, because we're taking shots.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be a party drink, man. It can't be.
It's got to be it can't be whiskey or bourbon. That's not gonna. I'll have 10 shots. Those 911. Anyway, I think it should have to be tequila or vodka.
Vodka, tequila.
Yeah, vodka, tequila.
Yeah,
it has to be something insane.
You guys are gonna be.
Or just Everclear.
I hope.
Or just Everclear.
Some Everclear, yeah.
Just we're just gonna go to the bathroom, get the rubbing alcohol.
Exactly.
So, and after every tier, just one shot, or is it gonna
I think it's gonna be one shot per tier.
Was it gonna be 2 shots per tier?
Oh no! That means tier 8. We gotta take 8 shots. No, we're not gonna die. I'm gonna gauge on what we're gonna need to do. We might do a little bit of pre-gaming. I'm thinking before then.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit, maybe have a beer or 2 or something.
I think we'll be okay with 10 shots. Dude.
Really, yeah. I just don't want to have to wait so long for it to hit us.
Oh,
no! I think I feel like by tier 4, you guys probably be.
Yeah. This would be a 2 hour. I feel like this would have to be a 2 hour episode. You know what I'm saying?
If this can last for 2 hours, it goes an hour and a half and is almost dead. Yeah, that's the only issue with having
take it down to 8.
Damn.
8 tiers.
I mean, but the point is to get drunk. Yeah.
I feel. Well, I mean, I never drank with you guys. So I don't know what your limits are, or even when you.
I can drink a whole lot.
Yeah, we drink
You know who is nuts? So I'm just gonna talk about it because we haven't talked about it on the podcast. So this friend of ours, we knew her from school. Her name's Alex. We call her Red. She has red hair. Okay. Very nice girl and everything. Eman had a kickback last week or the week before.
I think it was last week.
And we were drinking, and I started drinking. I think I had one drink more than her.
Okay.
And then when I started drinking, after that, she was drinking, and she was going pretty much almost drink for drink with me. And I was gone. Not gone, but I was really feeling it and shit.
You were there.
And then at one point she was like, "Man, I want Taco Bell." And I was like, "Oh man, I'd drive you, but I can't drive." And she was like, "Oh, I'm good. You want to go?" And I was like, "What do you mean you're good?" And so I was she drank as much as me.
Yeah.
And this chick was fine. And she came back, ate her Taco Bell, drank some water, and was like, "I'm just gonna drive home now." And I was like,
"Jeez."
Yeah.
How much did you drink, man?
Me, I probably had, because I had one Jack and Coke, and then I had another Jack and Coke, and then I had 2 Bullet bourbon, Bullet and Coke, and then I'm trying to remember. I think I was just drinking either bourbon or whiskey, but I probably had like 5 or 6 drinks. And when I pour my drinks, usually it's like this. You've seen it. It's like this much bourbon and then like this much Coke on top. Mm-hmm. Like I put in a lot of shit. But anyway, but Dante, as we're getting started, before we get into it, why don't we talk a little bit about how you know me and Eman, how you got to know us or me or whatever. How do you remember meeting me or whichever came first?
Well, I met you first, and that was Free Comic Book Day. And that was back in 2000, when I moved here, actually. So that was 2016, I believe. I met you.
Damn, I've known you for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Thought it was longer.
No, yeah.
It feels like longer because we did so much in that amount of time, but it's only been 2 years.
I went up to Heroes and Fantasies. I had my Miles Morales cosplay on, our costume on, my boys. And the champions were down there, and that's how I ran into Alex.
Nice.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny because I actually met you not knowing who you were at my first experience at Alamo City Comic Con. You were dressed as Daredevil.
Oh, yes. I remember you told me that. Yeah.
And I had to go back because when I saw your costume, like, I look very familiar, so I had to go back in my pictures. I'm like,
they're like, I've seen this chubby guy before. Did you meet me first? Did you meet Serena first?
Well, I met Serena first because...
and I think she's the one who kind of roped you in, right?
Yeah, and kind of brought me to you guys.
Oh, okay.
And that's how she wrote from there. And I met Eman through you, and that was at the...
Yeah, because you were doing...
video.
Yeah. Oh, well, because when Dante came in, you were already out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because he was our new black
basically
guy.
You replaced you.
Yeah.
He was begging for me to get back in. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, every time he met him, he's like, hey, man, you want to come back in?
Brother.
Come back in?
Come on, brother.
Hey.
There's not many of that kind over there.
Is that how we all sound?
You know, smart people.
That's how we all sound to you.
That's how we sound to him.
Smart people sound like that. Hey, that's how Hulk Hogan sounds like that, and he's not black. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Fair point. I guess.
Hulk Hogan has his opinions about our kind. So.
Yeah, that was a bad example.
Yeah,
is he racist?
Yeah, remember that
scandal, man.
Seriously, I don't remember any of that shit.
I guess.
I do remember she was dating like a black dude, right?
Yeah, and
then
the phone call that got released.
Yeah.
And I was like,
kicked out of the WWE.
Yeah,
I remember
the
that
guy
shit.
who told us to say our prayers and eat our vitamins. I'm like,
and keep your daughter away from black guys.
Yeah, keep your daughter away from black guys too. At that, like,
remember to drink your milk, brother, and stay away from other brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Dante, we usually do this thing as we're opening up the podcast, kind of lead into more conversation, where we kind of go through everybody and ask them how their week was and shit, and what they're doing, what they're catching up on and shit. So, Eman, as always, I'll start with you.
I don't think we should start with me, man.
We always start with
definitely start with
we
the guest,
always start with you. So they can kind of hear the tone and cadence.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's like you set the precedent on
man.
how it's going to be.
Absolutely.
And fuck Dante. No, I'm kidding. Wish I could.
Oh, shit. Truth comes out.
Better watch it, Jackie.
Yeah, my wife,
But,
so, Eman, what have you been up to, bro?
Man, I had a pretty cool week, man. If the kickback was this week, then I had the kickback. And then had a nice little date night yesterday with a lady.
Oh.
And then today, man, I went into work. Typical day at work, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we did fucking stand-up.
We'll talk about that a little more in a minute. We'll talk about that more.
God, this was an eventful week.
Yeah, bro.
Went into work today, man. And it was cool. My buddy Ethan and I, we worked together. You guys are longtime fans of the podcast. You know who Ethan is. We're about an hour in. We had to open the shop up. Or he did. I came in at 12. And so we're about an hour in the shift. And usually... on the weekend, a lot of weekend days, we get shipment, right? So companies come in and they drop off to other companies or our company in the lot. We have it's a strip mall, and so we see a guy, and he's walking up, and he has a box. He's carrying it's like a shoe box, just a regular cardboard box, but he's wearing gloves. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt. On top of that long sleeve shirt, he's wearing a jacket. It's hot as shit, and then he's wearing a hat tucked down to his eyes, right? He's wearing a ski mask.
Bro, you're fucking lying.
Not a ski mask, but a mask covering his face, like a scarf type thing.
Oh, I get what you mean. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like a bandana type thing?
Bandana type thing, but his fucking face was covered.
Oh, man.
So it was like the dude from Watch Dogs, the video game.
Right, exactly.
No,
but we get shipment we have a deli right next to us. We have a jewelry shop right next to us, and then it's the vitamin shop.
Yep.
So a lot of times guys will come dropping off like frozen shit or whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. He has a fridge in the back of his shit. He's covered up. So I'm with Ethan, and this guy walks past us, and we lock eyes. I make eye contact with the guy. And I look at Ethan, I go, hey man, look at this Unabomber ass nigga walking up. Oh! I swear to God, dude.
Eman's like, the jewelry store exploded.
He looks really weird. He was carrying a fucking box. And so I made that joke, and then Ethan and I laugh about it, whatever. We get back to work. About 2 to 3 minutes later, this guy goes sprinting away from wherever he came from, because you have the vitamin shop, it's windows in the front, and he walks past. He's walking towards the jewelry store. He goes sprinting away, and two women come following him, and they're running. They're on the phone and shit. And they're freaking out. And this guy gets in the car and pulls away. He jumps in the passenger seat of the car, pulls away.
He robbed the place?
He robbed a jewelry store next to us.
Y'all are next to James Avery, right?
We're next to Zales.
Zales. Fuck! How did he?
Which vitamin shop is this?
That shit's got one right on Ranch.
Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We got hit.
Is there like a mint warehouse right there, right? And then
right, yeah.
Oh,
and it's
man.
That's fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah, dude. It was fucking weird to see firsthand, man.
Man.
It was
He made
weird
eye
to see
contact with
firsthand.
that
I was telling Ethan, it felt like that scene in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if you think about it, it's your fucking fault. You saw something, you fucking say it.
See something, say something.
What's he talking about?
Spider-Man.
Oh, hit my window.
Was that rain?
No,
Nah.
somebody sprayed my window.
I was like, what the hell?
I'm like, is it raining?
I was like, podcast is canceled. We're going outside.
But
yeah, no. The main point of Spider-Man, like the Uncle Ben thing.
Oh, I got you,
like that, where I saw it and then it happened.
I got you. I got what you're
What the
saying.
hell's going on?
I really thought it was raining.
I can't stand him, man.
Your dad's doing that? Oh, I'm gonna keep that
I
in.
can't even be mad.
I'm gonna keep that in where you went. It's my dad. I can't stand him.
Hey, Dad, for real, stop. We have a guest. Be professional. Gotta get a studio soon. I hate this place. But dude, no, yeah. So it's so fucking weird, man.
Is that on the news?
Yeah, the news came. We got interviewed by police officers and.
Oh, you got interviewed?
Not by the news. KSAT was there. I wish they fucking interviewed us. But we got interviewed by detectives.
I would have been so mad if you would have got interviewed
police officers.
and did it normally.
And did it normally?
Yeah, I would have been so mad.
No, I was talking to Ethan. I said, yo, if we get interviewed, I'm plugging the shit out of this podcast.
There you go.
Eman's like, it was crazy. He ran by, and actually, if you want the full story, you can check out the Break Time podcast.
Yeah.
Coming out tomorrow morning at 12.
Word for word.
Dang, that's wild.
Really weird, dude. Really
That's
weird
nuts,
shit, man.
bro.
He walks past me. It was some shit like in a movie, man. I felt like time slowed down because, God, I didn't
Did you
trust
get like
my gut.
the urge, like when you made that eye contact? Did you get the urge, like to be like on some hero stuff and like try to like chase him down?
No, because dude, we're in a strip mall, so we're constantly getting delivery guys coming in. And
Yeah, so just kind of people you don't know
he's
walking
carrying
through
a
all
box.
the
And
time.
I think that was his ploy. I think he was going as a delivery guy to go in.
The mask right there, to me, I would think like this is a terrorist. Like this guy, got you know, the whole bombing thing and all shit.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy has a.
That's
bomb
really
or something.
that's the first thing that I thought. I'll be honest with you, man.
Oh my
But he
god!
didn't come in, so I figured
That's
whatever
wild.
he should deliver into one of the stores.
And rob the place.
But yeah, man. But I did have the urge actually when he was running away
to chase after him.
to chase after
You
him.
can't do it at that point, bro.
Exactly.
You
no.
can't.
That's
You
just
don't know
my
who's,
instinct.
yeah, you don't know who's in the car. You don't know if he's gonna turn around and
He's
shoot you or some
packing.
shit.
I'm surprised Ethan didn't go for it, but Ethan used to live that thug life, so he really
Ethan's
those
probably in the
guys.
mindset where he's like, "Shut the fuck up." So me and my office manager Myra, you know Myra, we're talking
Yeah.
about this the other day. How like if you ever. No. Is that? Oh no, it wasn't Myra. Sorry, I was talking to Vanessa about this yesterday. I was hanging out with Vanessa and Herbie yesterday, and we're talking about how sometimes, like, not in bad neighborhoods, but sometimes in certain neighborhoods in town, like you'll see shit happen,
Yeah.
and then cops come by and they're like, "Did you see something?" And then most people are like, "I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
Didn't see shit." And you know, if you're someone who maybe doesn't understand that, your immediate thought is like, "Why aren't they just helping our law officers? Why aren't they just saying what they saw?" Because you don't.
It's like difficult.
Well, exactly, and then you don't know if you're going to be a target,
Yep.
like because they know that you talk to the cops, or you don't know if it's actual cops right now. Because there are some, I've read about some people where cops will come up to, or people dress like cops, like a nice, like flash a badge or whatever, and go like, "Oh, did you see something?" And then people die, or people get shot at by those people because they're not fucking cops.
I think the least of my concern. I think the first one would be a little more, but no, dude.
No, I'm just saying in general, like you never know,
Right,
like,
yeah,
how
and
you're
that's
gonna
what
get
I
involved in that
said
shit.
because the news showed up. KSAT and Ethan and I were like, yo, if they want to interview us, I'm not saying shit. I'm not gonna be on
Yeah.
TV snitching for no reason. For if it was a mom and pop spot, I'd feel a little more, I'd be more
But
to get
it's
their help.
sales.
Oh,
They're writing it off.
I'm
They're
not gonna-
I
fine.
think about it, they
Exactly.
they sell their docs. I bought my wife's wedding ring from Zales, and come to find out, like it's like overpriced, and I could have gone.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
bro. Yeah, at that
Screw Zales.
Yeah, at that 15 multiplied markup that
Yeah.
they put, they
Yeah.
sell things with the assumption that they're going to lose some kind of product
Yeah.
at some point.
Oh, that's very true, man.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
major company like that takes into account robberies, takes into
Corporate
account
America.
just losses, truck accidents where they lose inventory.
Which, I mean,
everyone
it's-
takes that into account.
It's smart, but I'm not gonna put myself in danger for a
Zales.
million
For a
billion dollar
fucking sale.
corporation
Yeah,
that's
no.
gonna
Yeah.
lose
But if
$2
it was
grand,
like,
maybe.
if it was like, Bob and Jessica's jewelry spot, you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh well, I'll say something.
I'll write something
Yeah.
into you guys.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have me on national or local TV fucking snitching. Like I'm
Yeah,
good,
right.
That
man.
was a random set of names you dropped.
What?
Bob and Jessica.
Bob and Jessica.
Yeah, what?
When you're a comedian such as myself, you
Say
look-
that now.
Oh. Yeah, you can.
Well, I considered myself a comedian before we did that, just because
Oh,
I always
okay,
make
fair
people
enough,
laugh and
fair
shit. But you learn how to just throw out names because you can't always
Yeah.
say like Barbara and Jonathan or some shit. So, Mom, was that all that happened this week?
Yeah, man. Aside from the stand up, but we'll both get into that. later.
Yeah. So,
That's pretty heavy right there.
yeah, I know.
Top that, motherfuckers.
I don't want to follow that, so I'm not. Dante, how was your week?
My week was pretty uneventful. Work. Did some.
That's a goddamn lie. What do you do for work, Dante?
I know, right?
EMS, man.
EMS.
I am
Yeah.
a glorified taxi driver.
Okay, but you're helping people get to the hospital. You're helping save lives and shit.
I can count on one hand how many times I've actually saved a life.
I can count none. You act like everyone has that in their resume.
When you think of us as like a paramedic or EMT, you would think like, oh man, they seen some stuff. But where I'm at and the company I work for, nah. Like I said, I can only count on one hand how many times I've actually.
Stop saying that. And he goes back to the point. Dog, I've only been to the moon one time. All right,
I know, right? Like, Eman, how many lives have you saved?
Oh shit. We
Eman,
talking
how
in
many?
video games
Hey.
or out of video games?
No, no,
I'm
no.
not the same
Like,
lives with your vitamins, man. Look, I recommend this.
That's bullshit.
And you might have
Maybe.
actually helped somebody. Hey,
Yo, that vitamin C, dog, it saved my life, bro.
Yeah.
No. You've saved lives, and he's the fray. So you
And you're the guy buying from me. I need something for my diabetes.
Oh man. Yeah, I see that a lot, man. I've never realized that San Antonio has like such a high percentage of people who are diabetics and who go through dialysis. It's ridiculous.
You didn't know?
No, man. Not until I moved here.
Shit.
Yeah. Not until
So-
I moved here and,
but was that it? Just kind of working and shit?
working on cosplay, and my wife and I.
Dante is an avid cosplayer, if we haven't already gotten that across.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a good hobby of mine. Very expensive hobby.
Oh, yeah.
Second expensive hobby I have.
Do you think I spend more money on cosplay or you do?
Well, see, you buy your costumes, so
I buy almost there. There's
But see,
some
I
things
buy the
like I'll
material so it
modify.
can-
Yeah, you
So
actually
it
build
can
shit.
add up. So I don't.
I think I probably spent more.
You probably still spend more. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a Captain America suit that was $1,200 altogether.
Yeah,
like if I
don't think
factored
I've-
in everything.
Yeah. Boy, my wife would take my guy.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
And then my wife and I took after work Friday. I took her to Foco de Chao. And,
Oh, that's nice. How was that? Wait, Fogo. Which one is Fogo?
that's the one downtown.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
How is that? I've never actually been there. I've always
legit.
seen it.
It's legit. Man, listen, I was sick last week. Some patient got me sick last Saturday. Did a 16-hour shift and some.
Damn, got them AIDS.
Well, no, man. The guy, he had spinal meningitis, and he coughed and then he put his peg tube out, and so I'm like, and it was weird because the paramedic I was working with, he looked at it and this weird fluid, we don't know what it was, it started.
Fuck that,
And
man.
so it got on his arm, shot on his arm. He just kind of like his reaction was so classy. He was just like.
This guy's like, honey, I'm leaking the juices again.
Right, and so he left, and I went to go help the guy out. He had a trach, so I'm trying to clean it out, and he coughed, and something got on me, and I just like, I'm done.
Fuck.
And so I got sick that whole day. So my appetite finally came back Friday, and I just
Splurged.
every meat they that didn't come out right. Everything that
every meat that was near my mouth, I put it in my mouth.
You know how Funkin' de Chao is, how it works.
Yeah,
right?
you have like the
Brazilian steakhouse.
The
card, right?
Yeah,
and they just keep bringing it to you until you flip it over.
I had a plate just for the meat alone, and it was like, man, I probably had like a good pound of meat on my plate.
Good pound of meat, huh?
How much does that cost?
Heavy on that meat.
Because it's just like a set price, right?
All kinds
It's
of
just
meat.
like
Juicy lean meat.
It's just like a set price, right? And then I'm the fat guy trying to ask about it. Well, because like I've always heard people talk about it, but I've never been.
Have you been to like a Shamagacha?
No, I've never.
Okay.
I've never been to anything where like they bring you food, that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's just a Brazilian steakhouse.
Yes.
We'll put like to you this way, because I forgot what the actual price for. If you actually want the, because it was for two of us, so I spent a little over $100.
No, okay.
So I mean, it wasn't.
I mean, it's not terrible for that because they're literally just bringing you shit until you say nay.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Jackie though, she didn't really eat any. She ate the cold plate stuff or whatever.
Oh.
So, my wife, she's not into.
What a puss. What a puss.
Dang.
But it was look, I didn't care. I was hungry because I was going to go to Wayne's Wings, and
I know how you feel about that.
That place.
Have you been to Wayne's?
No, man.
I gotta take you to Wayne's.
I have no reason to go. I'm not
we should go.
We should go.
We should go. Shit.
Which one? Oh, shit! Relax.
Listen
What's that one spot in Alabama? Wing Zone. What's your fucking
Wing Zone.
American knife away?
Listen.
Yeah, Wing Zone.
American knife?
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh no, Wing Zone's bullshit.
That's right. I got it confused.
Nah, bro, we're talking about
Wings. Wings is so good. You cannot even pretend not to like it.
Okay, I won't fucking jump around.
You can't pretend. You can't say. No, you can't.
We both got so offended, bro. We both went like.
That's gonna be funny in the playback.
But yeah,
where's it at? Where's Wayne's Wings at?
Oh fuck,
Austin.
It's like off Austin Highway.
Wow.
It's not near here at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like a 45-minute drive for us. No.
Okay.
It's past North Star Mall. I think it's exit 27. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should go like
I've been
next
there
weekend.
so many times.
Fair enough, man.
I'll go.
My pocket's open, right?
I tell people like I will pay for your first meal there.
It's
and
great,
you cannot pretend not to like.
But it's notorious, bro, for the wait.
Because,
they're actually a lot better. Because
okay.
They limit their how many hot sausages you can get, and that's what was killing it.
Because they had to make so many different ones.
Yeah.
So the first time I went there, they had a sign up, and they're like average wait time. It said if you're not willing to wait over 45 minutes for your food, maybe longer, don't order.
Okay.
Like
to me, it's worth it.
Oh, it is. The first time I went there, we waited for almost an hour, and I was like, man, this is some fucking bullshit. And Juan, who took us there, he was like, I promise you, it's gonna be worth it. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, motherfucker, I'm getting pissed off.
Pulling Yelp out and shit.
Yeah, I'm pulling Yelp out. I'm like, I'm gonna leave a review. You leave 2 Yelp reviews, and nobody lets you live them down. You
get 1 yeast infection. Nobody lets you live it down.
So they came out and I ate it and I was like, oh my god.
Wow,
it was fucking great, bro.
Legit,
it's amazing.
I don't even really fuck with wings like that, man, but I'll give it a shot.
No, it's legit.
Dude, you will fuck with wings after this.
I've had people from Ohio come down and I take them straight there and they're like,
wow.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, Wayne. Let's see.
So I guess to catch up on my week real quick. I've just been working a whole lot, getting ready for the move. Me and Willie are moving into our apartment. I think I talked about that like one time briefly, but I'm super excited about that. We're getting ready for it. We're moving in this Friday. But the other thing that we did is me and you did stand up this week.
Yeah, you and Ethan.
Me, you, and Ethan did stand up this week. I always forget because we've been posting shit on social media, and Ethan doesn't have social media.
I know, so we can't.
So I forget.
How liberating is that?
Well, Ethan is an intense guy. Like he's like, I'm gonna get myself right with my mind or with God and all this other shit.
Ethan is fucking intense. What episode was he on the podcast? It was 45, 40?
It was before or after your girlfriend. It was before your girlfriend. Oh, immediately after. So that had to be like 45, 46?
Yeah, one of the 40s.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
The episode's called Selfish or Selfish.
Oh, I have that on my watch list.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
All right.
No, he's great. Ethan's super intense though. But we did it with me, Eman, and Ethan did it, and it went really. I remember we were talking about it a little bit. Just to recap.
Yeah, man.
We were kind of going to some open mic nights. We're checking it out, and we finally wrote our material. We're practicing it, working it out. Okay. And then we went this past Tuesday to go do it, and Eman killed it. Eman did really fucking well. A lot of people were giving him like some pointers, but giving him a lot of praise when he got off. Okay. And then I felt like I did pretty well as well. And then
I think we did equally as well, man.
Okay.
Like I don't know because you can't really feel the laughing of the crowd when you're up there doing the material.
Yeah.
But I mean, if what you guys say the crowd reaction was when I was on stage, that's exactly how it was when you were on stage.
Yeah. No, it was. I had so much fun, and Ethan did it, and Ethan did really well as well. I know, unfortunately, Ethan, we talked about it a little bit. Yeah. He got a shittier crowd because he went later, so a lot of people had already left.
Closing in on midnight.
Yeah, so but his stuff was great. I know he was talking about how he wants to tighten it up and better it and all that, but I think it went really well for our first time doing it.
What was the crowd size?
The crowd size. Let Eman tell you real quick, because I need to go grab like a tissue.
Yeah, man. So it was about, I'd say like 50 to 60.
That's not bad for an open.
Yeah, for an open mic, man. It was a good crowd size. A lot of it's comics. A lot of it's just people stopping by in the area because there's a theater next door, so they were just stopping by to see like open mics.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, man, it was for when you're doing an open mic or doing stand up in general, a crowd of 10 will have you shitting bricks.
Yeah.
So like just seeing that, felt like I was opening up for an arena somewhere. It was intense, man. It was a lot of fun.
Well, see, making someone laugh, and because I've done public speaking and public reading and type stuff like that. That's easy. I can do that, but to make someone laugh, that has to be like one of the hardest things.
Yeah,
to do.
It's definitely nerve-wracking for me anyway, because I think I'm not sure what your exact experience in public speaking is, but doing the champion stuff, you were there a lot. We had a lot of stuff where I'd have to talk on a mic to a group of people or to a bunch of kids. Or,
I feel that's easy.
Yeah, that for me, that stuff's really easy. It's very easy for me to think on my toes and just kind of come up with things to say.
Right.
But also, I mean, you've also seen me just interacting with people.
Right.
And I feel that there's a lot of times where I'm pretty good at making people laugh and easing the mood and shit. So for me, it was not easy, but it made sense in a way where I could incorporate those two to work, where I could still public speak, but still like kind of turn it into a punchline. At least for me, anyway. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry, man. I'm just.
What?
My dad was fucking. I'm just getting the visual of what I saw when I looked at the window.
Oh, your dad! I thought you were laughing at me. Like, look at this bitch.
Well, see,
not even that.
I feel like if I were to do like stand-up comedy, I feel like that one comedian that I don't know if y'all saw when Jamie Foxx was like
ruining his career.
Like, this is your conscious speaking.
Yeah.
Ooh, you just told another joke that was flat.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like there'd be somebody like doing that to me if I was up there, especially if I'm making jokes and no one's like they're just looking like.
Yeah, I was so afraid of that, man.
It's hard, bro, because one of the first nights we went, there were some comedians up there that were saying A+ material.
Yeah.
Like shit that I thought was like, bro, you thought this out so well, and this is great. And nobody was fucking laughing. And I was like, how the fuck are they not laughing? And then the night that we went up there, thank God, we had a really good crowd.
Yeah.
But also, I found out that I think a lot of people don't laugh at comedians who go up, because some comedians go up and do the exact same bit.
Material.
And sometimes, like I saw someone go up and... Well, because, like, open mic nights are kind of designed, one, to try it, and two, to work out. If you're a current comedian, you work out new bits, or work out new material. Sure. So some guys work on the same material for like 3 weeks, just saying it to new people, trying to work it out with the crowd, and that's fine. But I can understand why some people, like, if they've heard this guy like 4 times, like, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But also, I'm kind of in the mindset where I'm like, go to a fucking other club or something.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to call the River Center Improv, man.
Check that out,
man, to see if they're doing.
Vanessa and Herbie told me that they also do it at the Magic Time Machine. Like, it's in the basement of the Magic Time Machine.
They do open mics?
Well, I don't know about open mics, but he said there's a comedy spot where
we've talked about
they book small acts and shit.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not sure exactly how that works. Maybe
I never figured out what that was.
Yeah, we just gotta do shit.
You know what, man? You know what actually really pushed me over, aside from sitting down and having that conversation with fucking Andrew Schultz.
That was fucking great.
I kept thinking, man, I'm gonna bomb. Whatever. Okay, it's your first one. You're gonna bomb.
Just bomb it and get over it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my mind state. But then I would think about, how about them roundabouts? And that would motivate me. I'm like, I can do this shit.
When we went to go see Andrew Schultz, and you're not supposed to give out other comedians' bits, but fuck it. We went to go see Andrew Schultz. He's a very popular comedian. He's on a podcast me and Eman watch called Brilliant Idiots.
Okay.
And when we went to go see him in Austin, there was a local opener who opened up for the show.
Okay.
And he was telling these jokes that were just terrible. And my thing was like, and he was the host of the show.
Oh, ouch.
And my thing was like, if he can get a host gig,
Yeah, sure.
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because he was bad. He was really bad. Yeah. And one of his jokes, like, he came up and he's telling all these horrible jokes. No one is laughing.
What is his name again?
I don't remember. Well, no, Andrew Schultz is the guy that we were going to see.
The host guy.
This was the host. I don't remember his name.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
But that shows you how funny he was. You don't
I didn't care to remember it. To be honest with you, I'm glad I don't remember it.
It was bad. Because
then I would look him up. No, so one of his jokes he made is he's like, yes, living in Austin, now we have these roundabouts. Man, who came up with that idea? Someone from Connecticut? And like he looks up.
That was literally the joke,
and
man.
Everyone looked around like, did anyone find that funny? Yeah. Like, it was so bad. And
boom, boom,
yeah,
right.
But no. After I can see where you're coming from. As far as like, I can do whatever I want. If that guy got a gig like that,
anything you could do, I could do. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
So.
Sure.
But no, but that was great, Dante. I wanted to hit on something because we were talking about how I'm moving out.
Yeah.
And it's an apartment. It's a really nice place. I'm super excited about it. But you were talking about how before you started rolling, you were talking about how you miss living in an apartment.
Yes.
Like, because you own a house now. You're married. You have kids and shit. You have a regular life.
Yeah.
A terrible life. No, I'm kidding. It's not terrible. You have a great life and a great family. But why is that?
Just having, because I don't know, it's just the feel of being on your own and the apartment. First of all, I don't have to worry about anything. All I have to do is just call, like,
if something goes wrong.
Yeah. Water, heater is busted. Send somebody up. Okay, your rent don't go up for that or whatever the case may be. I don't have to, take out a loan to go get something fixed. So that's that. I don't have to cut the grass. I hate cutting grass.
That's true. Because my parents, that's they're telling me that they're like, Alex, you could not get an apartment and then just like save like a few $1,000s and put a down payment on a house and get a small house. They're like, you qualify with your credit score and everything. They're like, you qualify for a small house in our area. And I was like, no, exactly. I was like, but then I have to pay a mortgage.
Yeah.
Then I have to pay for all the other shit. I have to get a water softener. I have to worry about the fucking the heaters and all this other shit. And I was like, if something goes wrong, I gotta pay for it.
Exactly.
And then I gotta do lawn maintenance.
Yeah.
I gotta fill a fucking house.
Yeah. It's more junk that you're gonna put in the house.
Exactly.
It's so nerve-wracking. And then just having an apartment, I can just chill out. For some reason, it's more comfortable in an apartment than a house.
Because I feel like it's, from what I've experienced before, I've seen everything, it feels like a happy medium between like being at home and being on your own.
Exactly.
Apartment is like right here.
Yeah.
Where you have the responsibility of an adult.
Yep.
But not too much responsibility as an adult.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And see, when I moved here, the first time I ever lived in the house was, besides living with my parents, or my grandparents rather, my wife, even when I first moved here, I had an apartment. And then, my wife and I got married. We moved in her house, and that was like the first time I had the responsibilities of a house.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this sucks. I'm not a fan of having a house. And my wife, she's pro like having property. She has a house across the street that she owns that she rents out.
Wait, y'all have the house that y'all are in?
Yeah, we have a house.
And then a house across the street?
But yeah, this is my wife's stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I guess,
but it's yours, collectively as a family unit.
I suppose. But she's really into that, and I'm like, that's a lot of work, and I'm lazy. That's a lot of work. But having an apartment, man, was so easy. Like back then, before I moved here, just my son and I, so we were just basically roommates. Yeah. And it was just so nice. I could do whatever I want in that apartment. I could leave when I want. I could come back when I want. It was just simple. So, but you once you finally move in there, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is great. This is amazing.
So, well, I feel like I'm very much like that because like seeing like all the stuff like my thing and my job because I'm a salesman. I sell water softeners. And I meet a lot of people who are moving into their home, and sorry, it looked like it was out of focus. But I see all the shit that they're worried about and that they're going through to get into that position of being in their home. And my thing is like, this seems like so much stress.
It is.
I don't want to deal with it.
In fact, my brother-in-law, I'm sure you remember what happened with his ceiling or his
you told
restroom
me.
flooded
Yeah.
and bathroom flooded and water came down.
Why did I know about that?
Because you sold them their water softener.
Yeah, I remember that because that was fucking hilarious. Did I tell you about that, or were you there?
You did.
Or whatever?
You did.
Yeah,
I thought that was so hilarious.
brother-in-law.
Yeah, no, I walk into the office and my office manager goes, "Did you hear about Mr. So-and-so?" I'm like, "What happened?" They're like, "One of our customers, we had to go work on something because his house flooded and caved in." And I was like, "What happened?" And he goes, "Oh, his wife like put the bath on for the kid or something, right?" Like that's what was going on.
He fell asleep.
And then they both fell asleep, so the water overflowed and the whole thing caved in. They're like, "Yeah, it's just destroyed. Their house is destroyed." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then that weekend, I met up with Dante. Me and him were just talking, and he goes, "Bro, my brother-in-law this week, or whoever he is, he goes, yeah, man, his house just his wife put the kid put the bath on for the kid. They all fell asleep, and it just collapsed."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I was like, "How serendipitous is that?" Oh god,
the coincidence was that. But yeah, that just goes to show like how much problems you have to go through. Now, if that was an apartment, they're just moving to another apartment and problem solved.
Even if it was your fault.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure about that,
it kinda depends on your
but you
complex,
could spin it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
To be
Yeah,
fair, if
that's
you're in an apartment, and anything collapses from water damage, even if it was on you, I'm more than certain.
Yeah, you can.
I'm more than certain you can go, because by that point it's destroyed. Everything's exposed. By that point, you just lie.
You can say something like, every time I turn the
leak, man.
it was
you just go, "Man, it was a leak," and all. Now you can't prove me wrong because it's destroyed.
Yeah, finally, it just finally
That was a gaping hole in the floor.
Yeah,
wow.
but they're just moving to another apartment and they get that fixed. When I was about 22, I used to work at an apartment complex. I used to do the turnover. I've set it up to where get it ready for the next person to move in.
Yeah.
And we had so many problems with like leaks, mold. And we'll move people out and just move into another apartment, get that one fixed, and boom, that was it.
Wow.
That's all they did. Yeah.
So that reminds me, because you're talking about like switching people out. I got so lucky getting this apartment.
Yeah.
Because back when me and Serena were looking for an apartment, this was like the apartment where we were like, man, if we had the money right now, we'd move in. It's a nice place. It's very nice. It's very looks like it's out of my means. But it's super nice. And I went there and we got all the paperwork like on a Thursday.
Okay.
And they were like, "Hey, do this, this, and this. Come back. We'll get you set up and we'll get you the apartment." We have 2 apartments left. We have a smaller version of the one you want and the bigger version of the one you want. We were gonna get the smaller one because it was a little cheaper on the rent. Sure. And I was like, "We're gonna do that, right?" So I come in that Friday, and they go, "Hey, just want to let you know the smaller apartment. Someone came and got it earlier today." And I was like, "Fuck!" And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna get the bigger one. It's like almost $100 more. We can deal with it. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Let's just do it." And then he went, "Okay, perfect. Can you sign up right now?" And I'm like, "I can't because Willie's moving in with me. But they had to run my credit and everything.
Sure.
But Willie, because he's still in school, is just going to be a resident. But he had to be there when I filled out the paperwork. I couldn't just fill it out. So I was like, "Can I just do it and then bring him later?" And they're like, "No, you both have to be here to do it." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." So I told him, I was like, "I'm gonna come back at 5. We'll do the paperwork and we'll be done by 6. He's like, "Okay." So I bring Willie back. We walk in, right? Mm-hmm. And I go, "Hey, we're here to do the paperwork for the apartment, and we're getting that bigger one." He goes,
"No."
He goes, "An hour ago, someone took that apartment." It's a very it's an in-demand place. Like they have a waiting list in some of these apartments. And
this one by the Casablanca.
No. That was the one me and Serena wanted to get later.
Oh, okay,
this was like one of the first apartments we saw, and we're like, "This is it. This is amazing." This one is off of Shanefield, right by that Lynn's Buffet. It's like a new thing. Anyway, but it's called Legacy Flats. So it's over there, and we go in, and I'm like, "Fuck. So what do we do?" And he's like, "We have some other stuff coming up in like another couple months. Like I can put you on the waiting list and all that." And I was like, "God damn!" I'm like, "There's nothing you can do for me. Like you don't have any other." Apartments at all. Then he went, "No." And then this other sales girl who was like not even in our conversation goes like, "Oh, hey, sorry, I know like I'm not involved here, but the guy who helped, his name's Pierre." He goes, "Pierre, Miss So-and-so on this corner apartment, she got called for military duty, so we waived her lease breaking fee and she's got to go. So she's moving out like at the end of the month."
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, what? So he calls his manager over and she goes, yeah, we haven't even put it on the books yet. And he goes, okay, well, apply like you're applying for this apartment and we'll just switch it over. So then we got the apartment.
That's cool.
But I was super happy because it was like one of those things where it was like we shouldn't have gotten it. And just because one of the other people just heard it at the right time, we were able to get it. But I was super fucking happy.
Is it second floor?
It's a third floor.
Oh, that's even better.
I was telling him, man, like the amount of fuckery that's going to be going on in that apartment, man.
I'm so happy, bro.
So excited, dude. It's just going to be insane, man. But yeah, man, my landlord, my dad. What did you say?
Nothing.
He's talking about single again, being single.
If I was single again, I'd be over there all the time, man.
Damn, just drop the divorce.
I'll have you over all the time, Dante. I'll invite. Hey, what are you doing Saturday? Next Saturday?
This coming Saturday.
Don't fall for it.
Unfortunately, I have to work. Do my 16. So.
What time you get off? Or are you
Midnight.
working on? Damn. No, because on Saturday, so Friday we're gonna move in, and Saturday evening I think we're gonna try to have some people over, just kind of do like a housewarming thing.
You still partying around midnight? I'll stop by.
Yeah, I'll see. I don't know how late it's gonna go. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Dante, I had a question, because you brought up a book earlier that you were talking to Eman about.
Which one?
A few books.
Yeah.
What was the first one? The first one.
How to Be Black.
How to Be Black. Who's that by?
Baratunde Thruston.
Okay, I was very interested in this because it sounded very interesting. What is that book about?
Well, it's about Baratunde. He grew up, I cannot remember where, but it kind of gives you the perception of how people think black people should act or be like. Mm-hmm. And so he just goes about his life. He gives these experience of how, like, all right, a white person will say, well, black people are this way, so you should act this way. But he's like, since when
people say that? Like, people,
fuck yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Has that happened to you?
Yeah, of course.
So
man.
I mean, like, people think, like, people actually believe that,
like, in an actual manner or in a joking manner?
No, absolutely.
No, it's definitely a real matter.
Shit.
Like, you talk white or some shit.
Yeah,
I've heard that a lot.
Black people don't talk that way.
Really?
Black people should talk this way. Like, people of other races actually believe that black people should be a certain way because media and what they see it through.
So they expect you to live out the stereotype.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And so he was basically writing this book disproving all of those stereotypes.
That's fucking nuts.
That's like somebody saying, oh, well, white people should be racist and wearing a sheet over their head with two holes, or or all Asian people should know martial arts and stuff like that. So
that's kind of interesting because
good read.
I know it's obviously really different, but I feel like it's a satirical spin on that. But I was watching, because I was watching a Key and Peele skit yesterday, and you might know this one, but it's the one where it's Barack Obama, and he just got done giving a speech, and he goes to say hi to all these people afterwards, and he walks up to like this white family, and he goes like, "Thank you for coming."
Oh,
and then he gets to the black people and goes, "Oh shit!" So, but it's like, it's like a satirical spin, I guess, like on that point. As far as you've dealt with that, Eman?
Fuck yeah, man!
Like, what are some things that you've heard?
The main one, you talk white.
What the fuck does that mean?
Exactly.
You speak proper.
You know what? I've gotten that before. I've been told that.
Hey
that
man,
I talk
look,
white.
whenever you say, whenever you crack that joke about Oshana, we can't tell if you're black or white. Like, why do you say that?
What?
I'm putting you in the hot seat. Why do you say that? Oh shit!
Wait a minute.
We're good.
Wait a minute.
So whenever you joke on Hoshana, this is a joke, so I'm not going at your throat.
No, you're good.
But whenever you say like talk to Hoshana through the camera, you're like, we can't tell if you're black or white.
That's true. Well, you know what? I'll be honest. It's because of the same thing.
Right.
But because the way that I hear Hoshana talking is how do you put it? It is because what we're talking about was what was the word I just used?
Stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like I was saying, like they want you to live out the stereotypical version of what they see as black person is. Hoshana's voice, and you can't deny this, bro.
I'm not denying it.
Is the stereotypical dumb white girl voice?
No, it's fun. Yeah,
like that's just her speaking.
Is she black or white? Or
she's black.
Hispanic? Okay.
She's black.
Yeah, she's black.
Her name's Hoshana, but she talks like she's in a Barbie commercial.
Yeah.
Like, it is
hilarious.
The weirdest thing.
Like Dr. Dre's ex-wife, that high-pitched, like...
Oh, no, that's just the pitch. But her cadence, like she's a Kardashian. Or typical Valley girl out in
again,
County
like a Barbie.
Shit.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, we're going to go to the mall and shit.
Right.
It's like that.
But you're one of the most intelligent guys I know, and even you crack that joke. But I deal with guys who are dumb fucks every day who don't think like you and I.
Yeah.
And they really
to be
think
fair,
that...
I can totally see, not denying it, I can totally see how I am doing what y'all are talking about, right? But at the same time, I guess it's still that. Putting racial stereotype on somebody.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess I never thought of it like that. For me, I always thought of it as like, because she talks like a goddamn, again, it's racial stereotyping, but it's just from the other angle. Because I always thought it's like, you talk like white chicks, like you talk like what white chicks think white people sound like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But to be honest, man, we can spin it both ways. I got a friend, Johan, who's a big, he was on the podcast twice.
Yeah.
He's a big hip hop guy, real into the culture. I could easily say, hey man, you should be listening to country. You know what I mean? Because he's not embracing that stereotype.
Yeah.
The thing I have with that, man, it's just, I feel like in this climate, man, we do face a lot of struggles, but I feel like black folks in particular are really worried about how we're looked at in the eyes of a lot of other people. Always. You know what I mean?
Well, I've read that there's like black people in some subcultures that are really worried about how other black people perceive them.
Yeah, because you get it from both ends. Or white people think that black folks should sound a certain way, and then you got your own people who say, no, you should be like this. It's
exactly.
You get people who are multiracial who sometimes are stuck in between because they're like, well, some people are going to say you should be like this, and then the other side say, no, you should be like this. So
yeah,
on that trip to Baton Rouge, man, that I took recently, dude, my own cousin, he said, you speak too proper, man. You gotta let your words go a little bit because I speak like this. You know what I'm saying? It was weird shit.
You gotta let your words go. Like, you gotta
some shit
you gotta say shit, or you gotta throw around the N-word more, or what?
And it's sad because he is a fucking genius, man.
But like, he lowers himself for a vocabulary.
Dump himself down because the area he's in. And
have you ever talked to someone, had a conversation with someone like in Mississippi, Baton Rouge area, or like deep south?
No, I've talked to some people.
It's ugly, man.
It's rough.
Ugly.
I've talked.
All they got on their brain is fucking bitches and playing football.
I talk to people like that, and that fucking kills me, bro.
It's tough, man.
I've talked to some people that like when I make fun of people that I think are stupid, and I go like, oh, bro, we got fucking bitches, bro. I'm just fucking shit, bro.
I don't know what that is.
Jersey Shore.
That's how I make fun of people I think are fucking idiots. But I've met people that are like that, and I'm just like,
yeah, dude.
But and I find that hilarious because I'll meet people like that, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is a funny bit. This isn't a bit. This is serious.
This is you.
Life.
No, man, but look, I used to, 2015, man, I went through this fucking phase, dude, where I was just super, I still am, but I was real just into the black culture, into our history, into our current struggle, shit like that, and I still very much am. But it got to the point, dude, where I would just get fired up at shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're culturally appropriating. I would be the guy on Twitter offended about some shit every week. That was me. I was that guy 2015, dude.
Yeah, that's a dangerous, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, man, exactly. Yeah. And then it kind of hit me one day, like, I'm fucking mad. Let me just, sure, this shit exists, but regardless, I still got to go to school. I still got to go to work. I still got to sort out the rest of my life and build this foundation. And I gotta focus on what I have to focus on day by day. What's actual obstacles for me.
Yeah, focus on you. You're
and I gotta say it, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but in my situation, man, racism ain't keeping me down.
That's the point, yeah.
Cops ain't shooting at me. And like I'm saying, I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm just saying, I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket.
Yeah. There's some people who live their life like that.
Right.
Like they live their life 24/7 thinking, I'm oppressed and I'm not going to do anything.
Exactly.
Or like I'm going to have to on me.
Yeah.
Which maybe some people...
You don't have to.
You don't have to, but I can see how some people in certain areas and maybe where they grew up, they not have to, but they've dealt with that quite a bit. But then, like, that becomes their identity. Right. And that doesn't have to be your identity.
And it's just not my situation. And I see all our black viewers right now typing in the comment section, what a coon! but
look, someone actually did that before?
What's that?
No. He's saying,
that's why I actually wrote down there.
No.
Jeez.
But no, look, man. My thing is, like I said, I'm not saying this shit doesn't exist. And, not turning a blind eye. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, if you're in my situation and you don't plan on doing anything about it, then just shut the fuck up. Because your inactivity is just as good as your voicing shit if you're not going to do anything about it.
I used to tell Dante this a lot when we would just deal with working with different people or working with champion stuff, and sometimes it would come up, and I would say, I fucking hate when people complain.
Yeah.
And I told you this too. I think, like, if you have an issue, come up with your issue and say, here's my issue. This is what I think might be able to solve it.
Right.
Don't say, this is my issue.
Yeah.
This is my issue.
How do you know?
Yeah.
This is my issue.
I
This is
hate
my
it.
issue.
So- I
My
know.
issue.
Yeah,
But like
it's
they're
tough,
just
man.
because then it's not even being constructive. It's
right.
just bitching. Like that's all it is at a point.
It's
It's
just saying, yo,
just
fix it.
bitching.
That's it.
Yep.
It's just saying, fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's tough, dude. It's not really tough, but you know.
No, well, but it's tough
In
for
the-
people
in the-
who
yeah, in the
feel that they have to
situation.
carry that.
It depends. I mean, yeah, it also depends on your upbringing too, like what situation you're in. Some people are in better situations than others, so you
Yeah.
might have it a little easier. That's black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to go through some type of oppression. It's just the society we live in right now. But from a black person standpoint, you were saying like some people, or you were saying that some people just they put it on themselves, and I think it's more so that people, if you experience it on a regular basis,
Yeah.
not so much that you're putting on yourself, but you're just kind of like just in that situation because
Yeah. I can see that.
you know
Yeah.
the neighborhood you might have grown up
Yeah.
in, the schooling system that you might have grown up in, or you might just get harassed by the cops and
Yeah.
you know for no particular reason or another. But I mean, everybody's going through it. I don't care
Yeah.
what race you are. I mean, especially in this day and age, we see. I mean, anymore you see like when someone get confronted with the cops. I get shocked when I see it now. But white, Hispanic. I think it was an Asian person before. But yeah, it's across the board now. So.
Me and Eman had a situation where one day when I got in a newer car at the time, I was driving. We were driving over to his neighborhood, and I didn't know how to work my lights on this car.
Okay.
And so I had my floodlights on, but I didn't have my headlights on. So we got pulled over.
Okay.
And I thought Eman was kidding, but he was being like kind of serious.
I was being dead serious.
Yeah, because we pulled over and Eman kind of not panicked, but Eman was like, "Fuck, I'm sorry, man." Eman said he said I'm so sorry, and I'm like, "Why? Why the fuck are you sorry?" And he went, "They're pulling us over because I'm black." And I'm in the car with you, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
It wasn't like I'm pulling you over because I'm black. It was like we pulled over and I'm black. You know what I mean? It wasn't cuz. It was just
Oh, okay,
black.
okay.
So it
I'm black.
kind of made me nervous.
That is
you know what I mean?
the cause right there.
Yeah.
And it was at the height of the whole
that's a legit
Trayvon Martin
concern.
thing.
That's true. And I remember the cop comes up and he looks at both of us and he goes, he asked me for my ID and everything, and I gave it to him. And he goes, "Yep, you got your floodlights on, not your headlights." And I was like, "Oh." And he went, "All right, y'all drive home safe."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit."
That's a legit concern, man.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I mean, cause I killed my wife. Like, yep. And, I used to think I was gonna probably die by something stupid like cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
No, pretty sure I'm gonna go out by getting shot by a cop. Pretty
Just
sure.
by some.
Yeah.
I jokingly say that, but getting pulled over, man. Like every time we get pulled, like we got pulled over. We were coming from the Spurs Cavs game.
Yeah.
And we got pulled over because I didn't have my headlights on, so we pulled in and. The cop came up, and I just, at 10, 2 o'clock, boy, I kept it just like that.
What is it? There's a show right now. I don't know if either of y'all are watching it. It's The Chi.
The Chi, right?
The Chi. Well, there's a part on The Chi where it's like this. Is it Chicago? I'm assuming it's Chicago. It's like some inner city neighborhood.
Okay.
It's like dealing with these people, dealing with the life of having to be in that. That situation where the cops are on them or they're dealing with gang activity and that kind of shit. Okay. And there's one of the episodes I was watching with my mom. The guys got pulled over and all they did is they pulled out their wallet and they put their wallet on they pulled out their wallet and insurance and put it on the dash, and both of them just had like their hands like that.
Man.
And I was like, damn, is that a real thing?
It is, man.
Yeah.
You make the wrong move.
So we're back from technical difficulties, but we were talking about or what we were talking about before we cut off was you posed the question if Eman had a black voice that he changes into, quote unquote black voice that he changes into when he's talking.
I don't want to be that guy.
Donnie's like, "Yo, black voice."
Well, he said they have
but Eman kind of wrapped it up saying like that he might not necessarily do that, but like he has a way that he elevates or changes his tone and cadence when he's talking to people. But you were about to give an example about how when you were younger.
Like, all right, so my mom, she will be on the phone with her friends.
Yeah.
Mother, and he can't be, kiss my mother, all that.
Yeah.
And then she'd click over. Hello?
Yeah.
Sure. Like, I remember have y'all seen Wolf on Wall Street?
No, I haven't.
yes.
You
haven't
have
seen that movie?
I've never.
Oh man, you
watched
have to see
it.
both for
Wow.
watching.
Good,
Now remember
man.
the scene when they introduce his dad?
Dad, yeah,
And he
yeah,
goes
yeah,
off
yeah,
and
yeah.
hello,
Hello.
cheerio.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Exactly. That's how my mom would be. Like
Damn.
she would be like at level 10, whatever she's talking to about her friends, and she'd get that click of hold on, whoever she's talking to, and see like, oh, it's her boss. Oh hi, sure I can come in.
Now, is that necessarily a racial thing, like changing into your black voice, or is that more like
I think that's
changing, like what we're talking about, like changing your tone and cadence to fit the individual or group that you're speaking with?
Yeah,
but I
think
can
so,
see how
but
it can.
I never seen anyone of another race actually do that. Like it's just the same.
See,
Even kill like.
me personally, growing up in like with Mexican relatives and all that, I would see like all the time like cousins would be like in the room, or we'd be hanging out during like the family get-togethers.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, and I said fuck him and this and that and all this bullshit. And then the mom would walk in and be like, y'all good? Yes, mom, we're good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's just a thing that happens.
Yeah.
But I think the way that I would chalk it up to is like, I think you can't just put that into the camp of a racial thing.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that's just a societal thing,
Probably,
like a
yeah.
social
I
cue.
think it's a human
That's fair.
thing, man.
Yeah.
To fit
that's
in with
fair.
whatever group you're around at the moment.
That's true.
But yeah.
Because like, let me put it this way, like when you're talking to your wife and you're being lovey-dovey, because I'm sure you do it even though you never want to seem like you like your wife. But you know, there's those times where, well, you
Very true.
Dante, direct quote from Dante. Quote from
man,
Dante.
you
I'm
do
gonna
not
throw.
have to
Very
say
true.
that.
I'm gonna throw him under the bus
You
real
do not
quick.
have to say that right now.
No, you're good. Dante,
You're good.
direct quote from Dante, right? One day he looks at me and he goes, "Man, Alex, I love my wife, but I hate being married."
Wow.
I'm
But
still getting used to it, man. I'm still getting used to it.
but how many years have y'all been?
It'll be 3 years in December.
So what's new, man? From marriage versus being just in a relationship.
Just being able to do whatever I want.
Why does that change?
Now you have see
Well,
here's
because when you're married, you know, you gotta, you have to make plans with the wife. You have to get approval of you. I mean, not so much as approval, but get sort of.
is it the marriage or is it the kids?
just the marriage? Just marriage. That's
Really?
Yeah. Living
What
with
is-
somebody, growing old with somebody on a regular, you see that person every day. And
Is that because you consider yourself very? Did you have brothers and sisters growing up?
I was the only boy.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Because you're used to being very independent.
Yeah,
You're doing your own thing.
Yeah, and let's see. I moved out with my mom. I moved with my grandparents when I was 15. Then after high school, college, and I was out on my own after that. I just enjoyed just like being able to have to really answer to anybody, but not so much as answering to my wife or whatever. But we try to make it to where we let each other know what we're doing, what our plans are. She likes to do everything.
That's
she
too
likes
much
to
for
hang
you?
out. She likes to hang out a lot. And I'm like, sometimes I just like to hang out by myself, or I like to just do.
I can see that.
I feel like
I can see that.
I feel like what it is, it's like before before marriage, it was like y'all were just in a relationship, so you knew either one of you could bounce at any moment if shit didn't go well. Sure. So now when the marriage happens, it's like, look, motherfucker, we're in this forever now, so you better straighten the fuck up. Like, I want to know where you are, I want to know what's going on, because we and you already
My
now.
wife, she's not like that, because she gives me a lot of rope, but she does. She does.
You make it sound like
come on, Dante, what are you doing, man?
you make it sound like you go home and you put your arms up and she chains you to a bed or something. like you're not allowed to do anything. Like,
No, not anything like that. It's just, when you get married, you understand. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. Once you're married, you're one now. It's not. Oh, it's me. It's you and another person.
I think that's not necessarily a marriage thing. I think that's a
that's
you thing.
That might be a you thing.
That
Dante.
sounds like a you thing.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a
That
you
might be a
thing.
you
You get
thing.
married.
That sounds like how long were you with Jackie? How long have you been with Jackie?
We've been
Entirety.
together 4, maybe 3.
4 years. So 4 years married, 3. Yeah. So but altogether 4 years y'all have been with each other. Yeah. Okay. So obviously my past experience in relationships is going to be different. Yeah. Because it was just at a different time in our life. But from what I took away from it and what I really liked about everything, and just being someone who really is social and likes people and all that, I feel like I'm very opposite from you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am very much, I very much adore the thought of like getting to grow with someone and getting to be with someone and all that. And I'm the type of person where I would rather be with other folks than by myself, and that's just me. Okay. But I also know that that's because I grew up with a lot of siblings. I grew up with a lot of family all the time, and I feel like due to your upbringing, you being an only child, because exactly what you're telling me is stuff I've heard from other folks who either had older brothers and sisters that were gone by the time they were old enough, or they were only children. Yeah. Or they were the only child.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I can see it's more of a, Dante's used to his independence. Yeah. Not necessarily the marriage.
Yeah, no, it's mostly that. Like I said, I love my wife. I love the family life and things like that. But being single I had a lot of fun being single. Not necessarily just like, I don't really like, relationships to me are just, it's a lot of work, and like I said earlier, I'm lazy.
It is work. I will say that, man. Work.
Yeah.
But I'm learning. I'm learning. My wife, she's actually teaching me a lot as far as being selfless.
So she's teaching you a lot about that?
Yeah, man.
How so, man?
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
What's going on in your mind?
She's very. My wife is very like thoughtful. Like she would think of the other person before she even think about herself.
See, I love that about your wife. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
She will bend over backwards for people she don't even know. It's like
I can tell because of her back problems.
But and so it teaches me like, oh man, if she could do that for people, she'll know how much more so should I be doing that for my wife. What I'm saying? So she's very.
You didn't already have that?
I mean, yeah, but
not to the extent that she does.
Yeah, there's some qualities that people have more than others.
And only real example. I mean, I've had examples of good marriages, growing up, but you don't see them every day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like those, you just see them when you see them. So it's like, how do I deal with these situations when they come up, or how do I deal with whatever typical issues that married couples have? And so learning how to do that, it's kind of like I'm just learning on a whim here, but she's teaching me a lot. That's what I'm saying. I'm learning. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah. What do you think she's gaining from you? What do you think she's learning from you?
All my negative traits.
Oh my God, Dante!
I mean, think about it. If you think about it, she is picking up on your negative traits. Dante.
No, because I'm very sarcastic, when we first met, she was like so
going over her head.
Yeah, like
she was Drax.
And now she will pick up on my sarcasm, and she gets like we get like a little debate or whatever, and she throw a little sarcastic remark. I'm like, oh.
That's just like, oh shit.
You wouldn't have said that like when we first met. What is this all about? And then she'll even say like, "It's your fault, Dante. Your sarcasm is rubbing off on me," and I'm like, "Oh, my bad."
Well, I feel like she's also getting your laziness because when you first met her, she was working. She's very independent, and now she's just at home on disability because she's got a messed up back.
Check.
Man, Jackie, get it together. No,
are you really that lazy, man? You said you're lazy about 5 times.
I feel like Dante's not as lazy as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
But I know Dante. To be fair, I've dealt with Dante.
I like to do as little as possible, if that makes sense. Like I don't have to go 10 miles where I can go 5.
Okay, that's kind of like a work harder when you can work smarter thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So the way that I've interacted with Dante, I don't think he's lazy. I think that he's lazy about the things he doesn't give a shit about.
I think we're the same way.
We are the same way.
That's why we fucked up in school.
Exactly.
Yeah. We fucking suck in school. And everyone's like, y'all are so intelligent. What is this? It's just a.
And I'm like, it's because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's intelligence applied in the wrong spot. Albert Einstein would have been a shitty brain surgeon. Yeah, that's not where his heart was. He was still a smart motherfucker.
I was great at theater and newspaper, but I couldn't tell you shit about what the Odyssey was about, and we had 5 months to read it.
Yeah, it's.
I read that in a week.
Oh, shut up.
Good story, man.
Anyway,
it's funny,
look at that. So my point is, though, I don't think you're lazy because if you were given the weekend, you'll knock out a cosplay.
Yeah.
Because you're passionate about that. You like that kind of stuff.
I blame you guys for that one.
That's what. You know what? Fuck you.
That's a good thing.
But my point is, like, I think you really dig the stuff you like.
Yeah.
And you're going to put the time into that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like me and Eman, will sit down and spend a lot of time on figuring out the podcast and like what we want to do. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about how we want to grow it and all that.
Stand up.
We'll talk about the stand-up stuff. We did a whole night where we just met up and had like a writer's room and just went over bits and how to make it better. That was so fun. I love that.
Fuck.
That was great.
Those, dude.
That was great. I really want to do that again with content. and just have a writer's room to come up with content.
Like
more
as
content
far
for
as,
that. Yeah. But that was great. So like that kind of stuff I'll put work into, right?
Okay.
And then when it's time to like do my job at work, I'll do it. But I'm also like, dragging my heels a little bit. It's like you don't want to.
Sure.
Like no one. I've learned from there's the difference between things you'd like to do and things you don't like to do. Is like the things you like to do, you put a lot of work into no matter what. The things you don't like to do, you do whatever you can to get out of them. For example, anyone who is ever taking a bathroom break is never taking a bathroom break.
Yeah.
They're sitting there on their phone or just trying to get away for a minute.
To say, I'm gonna go take a shit. I mean, a mini vacation when I worked at Best Buy. Every day I would take like a 15-minute shit and just be seeking hiatus on my phone in a fucking bathroom.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing.
Yeah, man. I think everyone does, dude.
Yeah, I'd be like, I got inflated bowel syndrome.
Inflated bowel syndrome?
Yeah.
How about I gotta take a shit?
Shit in animal balloons?
I gotta take a shit for 15 minutes every 5 minutes.
Well, see, you made a interesting point when you said that the stuff that we don't want to do, we don't really just get, we don't really care about. But when it comes to a relationship, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you don't want to do, but you have to do it because maybe the significant other may want to. So that's another thing I had to learn to do too. Like there's a lot of things like my wife was like really like she was into that I'm totally not into, but I had to put forth the effort too because that's what makes her happy. And she does that a lot with me too because before we met, she didn't know anything about cosplay. I mean, and then I don't know if she necessarily didn't like it, but now she's all in for it. But when it comes to something you have to. Sometimes you have to be like, you know what, because she wants to.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it. So.
Yeah, no, I think if anything, I learned a lot about that from my last relationship because there's a lot you can do and there's a lot that I did do, but then there's obviously room where you can grow and and you reflect on all that, and I can definitely see that as far as like trying to be more, and not that I wasn't, but extending a little more to be more involved with the things that your significant other wants to do. But I can definitely see that as one of the points where it's like, man, now I have to do this.
Yeah.
Or like,
you're in a relationship, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Man. I'm sure what I like about relationships, though, dude, what I had to figure out, it took me a while to figure out, man, love is fucking freedom. You know what I mean? That's why I like the podcast we had with my girlfriend, the podcast we had with Brooke. It was like, I had to realize that love, being in a relationship, is not ownership. In fact, it's the exact opposite, right? Like when you meet the person and you fall for the person because you like who they are, flaws and all, right? But I think when you're young or when you're just naive or haven't experienced a lot of relationships, you try to, you have this idea of the person you want to be with. Yeah. And either you can't attain that person or whatever happens, you just never come across that person. And so the person you are with, you try to make them fit a mold that you have in your head, right? Yeah. Been dating my girl for a few months now. Oh, yeah? Never worked out with her. Shit like that, you know what I mean? And that's a fucking huge part of my life. But I just like her because of who she is.
Sure. Yeah.
Everything that comes with it is who she is.
Definitely.
And the idea of who I want her to be has no room. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to her.
Yeah, because that could actually break a relationship if you have this preconceived notion like what she should be like, or vice versa, or what she might perceive you to be like.
Definitely.
And if you're not living up to that, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna find reasons to. Like, she's not. I have her envisioned like looking like this. She don't look that way. I'm gonna leave her. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I can definitely see that.
So yeah, man, it's weird. What I think does happen is your habits will eventually rub off. Yeah. Like just me.
Good
saying,
and bad.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like your woman's the best reflection of who you are. Like just from me. Hey, what'd you do today, babe? I just went to the gym and chilled out. Just from saying that, the fact that I went to the gym, maybe it's embedded in her subconscious, but now she's working out and shit. And I would never fucking, hey, babe, we gotta go to the gym. We gotta get, never fucking.
Yo, babe, I'm out here doing all these fucking rights.
Yeah.
Lifting all these fucking cars.
Right.
You can't even lift your fucking feet up.
What you get this guy in the gym, man?
Because it's the same principle. It goes with fucking friends and girlfriends. Like
he loves me.
We've been
who
friends.
I am.
Look, hey, we've been fucking. I mean, we've been friends.
And we've been fucking.
We've been friends for what? Fucking.
Dante had the best reaction to that.
Dante's new to this shit. This bromance.
Whoa.
Like we've been friends for fucking 10 years. You've gone to the gym with me maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
I just don't give a fuck because that's not what Alex does. But I rock with Alex big time. You know what I mean? But I do say this,
I've been to the gym with Dante more than I've been with you.
Probably, but I do say this, man.
Have.
I don't give a fuck about if you go to the gym with me, but you got to be healthy, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's one requirement. But other than that, yeah, man. Love is not ownership, dude. It's the coolest shit, man. It's the
It
coolest
endures
shit.
all things.
What's up?
It endures all things. That's
Yeah.
a quote from the Bible.
And you know what? I
Endures
think.
all things.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna end on that?
Love never fails.
Yeah, I think on that note,
Bring it
guys,
full
I
circle,
love
Dave.
doing this thing. Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Where I bring it full circle, and at the beginning, right? I said, "Welcome to a very." How did I put it?
I don't know.
A very a very in between
in-between.
ball or something like that. Because I'm something like
Outnumbered or something?
outnumbered. I think that's what
Oh,
it
yeah.
was. Because I'm between two guys that are different than me, and it's two guys who have mastered the art of love.
Stop it. I am still a Padawan. I am.
So,
man, listen.
but guys, on that, thank you very, very much for tuning in to this episode of Break Time. Dante, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to leave off to the audience before we end out this episode?
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Okay.
Wow.
Plugging in his Dos Equis deal. No, I'm kidding. Iman,
Advertise me, man. I'll do that too in the
as I
podcast.
do every week, is there anything you want to say to the good people before we end out this episode of Break Time?
Keep reaching out, man. Keep reaching out. Keep leaving commenting. Keep leaving comments.
Keep leaving
liking.
commenting.
Dude, I'm on 2-3 hours of sleep right now. Yeah, we'll keep pushing out content, man. If you want to be on, let me know. We'll have you on, and it's as simple as that. But you better hurry up. We got what, 2 episodes left of guests? Really, 1 episode left.
Because it's 48.
Yeah.
So
of
we have a
guests, so-
49 guest, and we're going to reach out to some of our guests that we had previously to see if they can be on episode 50.
Yeah,
Some
so
guests that we
we
wanna
got
bring
that one
back.
capped. So if you want to be on, now it's now or never, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now or
I
never.
appreciate coming on.
This man was beyond persistent.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Left all
Y'all
kinds
ain't
of
been
threats.
asking
Here's the thing.
For weeks.
No, here's
Been
the
asking
thing.
for
Here's the
weeks.
thing. I saw the
Left all
episode where
kinds of
y'all were like
threats.
y'all were wanting to put because it was like from 40 to 50. Y'all were like, we're gonna have guests in, right? I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's why, because I like the show, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna get on, right? So I asked Alex, never get a reply back, right? I'm like, oh, this jerk, but he never replies. So
I replied to you.
we had an event at the
No,
at
I
the
replied to
movies.
you.
You said yeah.
I said,
all right, yeah.
I said we have the next few episodes lined up.
Yeah.
So let me talk with Eman and see
Right.
what we can do.
Never heard anything after that, right? So
Yeah.
Avengers came out.
Same shit I be saying too.
Avengers came out and we did the event, and I was talking to Willie. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm trying to get on at break time because I'm like, I really want it because it's a dope show, right? And Willie like, oh yeah, man, Alex would love that because he's looking for a guest. Like, you should talk to him. I'm like, I have been. He's like, no, just ask him right now. And I'm like, all right. So I talked to him again about it. He says, same thing in the text. I get what he mind. We'll figure it out. So I'm like, all right. So I watched another episode, like more guests. I'm like,
And then finally he tweets at me the other day. He tweets at me and I just tweet him back, "Yo Dante, come be on the podcast this week." And he said, "All right." Then I didn't message him.
I get a random text message.
I
a couple
messaged
days
him
ago.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yes, I messaged him yesterday.
Like, oh, man,
I
come
said,
on.
"Yo, can you podcast this tomorrow at 7?" And he went, hell yeah. And I was like, all right. That was it. I sent him an
Hey, but
address.
then you can tell when he got desperate because he was leaving comments and shit under fucking every video. Hey, one was like, I hope Alex gets a paper cut or something.
Oh yeah, a paper cut between his fingers.
We're Mr. Incredible and he's like Syndrome or whatever. like he's like, I just wanted to be like you. And we're like, sorry, buddy. I work alone.
That's
on
the
the
narrative
show.
with pretty much all of our guests we've had on, though, man. They really want to be on for like weeks. They're asking
That's
to
not
be
true.
on.
I think the only one who was asking for a little bit was Adam.
Yeah, Adam was asking.
Adam, and it's just I had other
Dante
things
was
that I
asking.
wanted to do
Alright, man, look.
before we had Adam on. I'll be honest with you, Dante.
Just give me a yes or no.
Ethan
I'll be-
for a long time was asking to be on.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There are certain guests who do want to be on, but we need to space it out with the types of guests that we have on. To vary up who is on. No, it's not a black thing. It's
you don't want to be.
it is what's timely, and then also like we don't want to have like 3 episodes of Sausage Fest. So we want to like the last few episodes we had on is like we had on like that producer. We had on our friend Red about college and all her shit that she's doing.
Sure.
And then at the time, we had on these 2 high school kids who did the walkout at their school because it was just after that shooting.
Sure. Yeah.
So things always change up and all that. But
that's fine.
point is, I'm glad we had
I'm
you
just
on.
teasing you.
We
Yeah.
definitely want to have you back on
appreciate
again.
it.
'Cause
All right, anytime,
you have a lot of great perspectives, a lot of great thoughts and everything. But guys, again, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Break Time. We'll catch you next episode and catch you later.
Yeah.